Hi, I'm Jerry reporting from Founder Robotics Network, and with me here is 18221 Meta Infinity. They have been absolutely insane this season. They just won the CRI Chicago Premier event, but they were also the winning alliance in Franklin Division as well as Michiana. So they're super decorated team throughout the season. In this Behind the Bot, we're going to cover their super quick carbon rod intake, as well as some of their other features on their turret and shooter that make this robot super consistent and super fast throughout this season. Okay, so Meta Infinity, let's just start from the ground up. How do you guys get the ball from the ground into the air? You guys have a super fast system for that. So if you want to show how you guys do that, and if you want to talk a little bit about that.
So the intake process starts with our intake rod here. And so there's a steel rod going from side to side, and that's static. And we run a carbon fiber rod that's dead axle on top of that. And that makes it so we can drive aggressively around the field and not have to worry about our intake rod bending. And then what we do is we have these undersized we custom molded these Swift wheels, and now we'll run our intake. And then along our ramp, we have 3 brake beam sensors, so we can prevent overpossession and have automatic modes throughout teleop and autonomous, so we can have the most amount of cycles through there. Then once the artifacts reach up here, we have this coaxial latch here. And so what this does is it's just here to block the artifacts, and then all we have to do is move it down this much, so it's very fast when we try to go shoot into the goal. And it has a 540-degree turret, which is based on the bearing stack, and it's run in the back by 3 Axon servos running PID.
Yeah, so just starting from the first stage of the intake, that was a lot of information. So just really quickly, these intake wheels, you mentioned that they were custom molded after the Swift wheels. What did you guys change with them? Were they like the hardness difference? Anything else other than that?
So we changed these to 15A silicone wheels, so more grippy.
Okay, and you mentioned also that you have a steel rod in here. Was the steel rod something you guys added later after noticing other issues with sort of maybe like aluminum rods, something like that?
Yeah, so we wanted to have a very efficient intake. So right now our intake is very low friction, and it's actually being run through 2 separate stages. As you can see on the side over here, we actually have a separate pulley, and we sunk our bear motor low to the ground so that we can have 6 of our 8 motors very low to the ground. And on our intake, our steel axle is just a normal, typical Gobilda Rex axle, and then on top of it is 2 bearings on each side, and the steel axle is actually static, and the only thing that's moving is the carbon fiber rod on top of it. And we found that the typical Gobilda bearings were actually less efficient than we initially thought. So we're using bearings from a retailer that we found called Avid RC, and we found that these are much more efficient, and we use them everywhere on our robot. And on our shooter specifically, we use ceramic bearings to have even less friction. From Avid RC, we're using the sealed bearing, so like dust from the drivetrain can't get into the dead axle wheels, and then like the carbon fiber rod or any dust, it won't slow it down. So there's sealed bearings all around, and then the shooter uses ceramic bearings, a little friction. And then over here, we have a belted another stage right behind our turret in the back, and the reason for that is to minimize the amount of dead space that we have. And it also provides no backspin while going up our ramp.
That's awesome. And just with all of that, can you show us a quick demo of how you guys intake the artifacts?
Before we get to our next segment, we'd like to thank the following. Studica Robotics is inspiring teams to build better robots with their new array of FTC team options. Check out their updated bevel gears and Maverick hex shaft motors, Planetary gearbox options, and 6mm hex components and shafts for extreme power transmission. Go to studica.com/robots to learn more and apply for discounts.
Yeah, so before we get into the rest of the shooter, do you want to talk a little bit about what the shooter's on? I noticed you guys have maybe a bearing stack going on. So talk a little bit about your turret.
So in the back is our gearbox for our shooter. So we're running a PID with an ELC encoder, and the encoder is geared 1-to-1 with the actual servo, but the output is around 420 to 360. And the reason we wanted to do this is in case we wanted to run a servo mode instead of PID. But we realized due to wanting more range, we actually wanted to run it with an encoder, but we have it as a backup in case it's needed. And so in the back, we're running 3 Axon Maxes. We initially used 2 Axon Minis on our initial robot, but we found that we could have a faster gear ratio with a similar amount of torque compared to older variations. And then so for that PID controller, in our initial iteration of this robot, we noticed that there was some slop and bleeding the encoder. And so what we did was we measured the size of the Go Builder axle that we had, and we CNC'd a steel insert to be press fit on there so there wouldn't be any slop in the turret gears. And then we heated that up with a heat gun station, and then we melted that into our 3D printed pulley, much like a heat set insert. So the entire powertrain would be fed into this encoder, and you can feel anything that you move up here.
Yeah, so this servo PID system is obviously super unique. Did you guys ever try just using normal servo range and normal servo mode? Did you try using sort of a motor with like an encoder, very typical setup? Or was this something you guys just started with off the bat?
So when we were designing this robot, we wanted to make sure that we could either run servo mode or continuous rotation mode with PID. And so when we started off testing the robot, we were running servo mode. And some of the issues we noticed that were if any of the servos had any different zero position, there'd be a lot of fighting because of the 3 servo turret. And then it would also make disassembly and reassembly harder because you would have to align each servo with a separate on mode and then make sure they were still on when you put it on. And so with this, we can just take it off, put it back on, and then face it forward and lock that position for our encoder and get back to back.
Before we get to our next segment, we'd like to thank the following. Kettering University's cutting-edge programs and their experiential co-op model seamlessly blend the professional and academic worlds, offering hands-on, feature-focused learning that empowers students to pursue new ideas and inspires other institutions to follow their lead. Don't just be ahead of the curve, create the curve. Get more information at kettering.edu/first.
Go dive into your shooter real quick here. So I know you guys have this hood. It looks like you guys have also some steel flywheels with some gears going on. So do you want to just quickly explain what's going on with your shooter? What kind of sort of mechanisms do you have on it?
So these are the Anti-Mark stealth wheels for our shooter, and they've worn down a little bit throughout the competition, and we'll replace them if they get too worn down. And then these are our Go Builder flywheels, and the reason we have gears is just to mount that to the flywheel because they don't have mounting options near the center. So that's just in the Go Builder system, and it's driven by 2 servos in the back that are driving this hood up and down.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's go dive into a little bit of your strategy side and how you guys like to play each match. So you guys have a super quick drivetrain and also are able to play through defense. So do you want to talk a little bit about how your drivetrain works, sort of how you guys are able to play through intense close zone defense, and how you guys are able to just continue to cycle through all of that?
So at our states competition, a big problem that we noticed was our side plates and intake rod were bending a lot due to aggressive gameplay. So we made it a goal for this robot to be easily changeable and modular, as well as very aggressive. So we have the carbon fiber rod in the front, so we can just ram into anything we need to. And in the back, we have a steel backplate. So if anybody tries pushing us, or we can just ram into people without worry because it protects our electronics and wiring in the back. And then we also wanted to prevent tippage a lot. So on the bottom of the robot, we have 6 of our encoders very close to the ground. And this allows us to have a very low center of gravity, with basically the only things that actually weigh a lot above it being the shooter and the gearbox for the turret. And we use these 8-tooth pinion gears from RC3 crawlers connected to a 108-tooth Go Builder gear, and this allows for a very efficient drivetrain. When we measured the actual top speeds of the bear motors compared to the measured speeds on these, they were about 95% efficient, which we also use different types of things such as lubricant on the different gears. Additionally, what we did in CAD for all of our belting to make all of our intake and also the shooter more efficient is we oversized the GT2 belts by 0.2 millimeters, and this basically allows for when the belts eventually expand, they won't skip, but they'll still be very loose. And then on here, this is all TPU to be press fit or silicone. And then over here with these small 8-tooth gears, a tip from the RC community is that you don't want them to be fully engaged because there'll be like less resistance, right?
Yeah, and then obviously a lot of the hardware features are very important, but also, as well as especially for auto. So going into your software a little bit, I noticed you guys have this limelight up front. Do you guys have any other super cool software features that help you guys sort of maintain that speed and consistency throughout your entire program?
Yeah, so as we wanted to mainly focus on the close zone, we noticed that we wanted to be very accurate, especially when having good ball flow from the gate zone. So we noticed ourselves as well as a lot of other teams, when they intake from the close zone gate, they might overshoot and hit the gate too far or not make it enough. So what we did to prevent this was in auto, using our brake beams, we're able to retry if we don't detect enough balls quick enough so we can retry at the gate or just go back and shoot. And we also have a timer on this to make sure we get the lead points on that. And also what we did for our teleop to make it very consistent is most of our fail-safes are on a driver 2 gamepad, while the driver 1 gamepad only has one button for the entire intaking and shoot process, which makes it so the driver can focus on the actual gate and shooting, and they don't have to really worry about what keys they're pressing, even if they forget.
Cool. So thank you, Team Meta Infinity. They've been absolutely insane this season, winning Franklin Division, Chicago, and then Michiana as well. So this is Team 18221.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell to stay up to date on future fun videos. Kettering University's cutting-edge programs and their experiential co-op model seamlessly blend the professional and academic worlds, offering hands-on, feature-focused learning that empowers students to pursue new ideas and inspires other institutions to follow their lead. Don't just be ahead of the curve, create the curve. Get more information at kettering.edu/first. Studica Robotics is inspiring teams to build better robots with their new array of FTC team options. Check out their updated bevel gears and Maverick hex shaft motors, Planetary gearbox options, and 6mm hex components and shafts for extreme power transmission. Go to studica.com/robots to learn more and apply for discounts.